Hey guys, this is the Allie Show, and today I'm coming at you guys with a very fun but very weird video for this channel. Excuse the crazy hair and pajamas. I have an Allegra medicine bottle here with some water in it, and as you guys can see here, my slime. Okay. I have been working on this for a good little bit and just trying to get it to the consistency that I want. Now, I have here a mix between a putty and a regular flubber slime. So I'm going to draw up a medicine dropper of water. Okay? Full dropper full. I'm going to have to fill this bottle up probably a couple times by the time I'm done with rewatering this slime. But your hands, when you play with slime, are supposed to come away very, not wet, dripping, but damp. Here I have a dropper full of water, a medicine dropper. And all I'm going to do is, in the center of the slime, let me grab you guys down so I can try to show you what I'm doing. So see here, here's my medicine dropper. I'm just going to take and just push just a little bit. And then I'm going to pick up my slime and knead the water into the slime. Sorry if the mic is being covered, but sorry if you're seeing my big old fumble fingers there, but as you can see, I'm just kneading water in slowly. Now, I'm only going to show you that action one time. But here's what my slime looks like in the stretch it has. You can see that. I'm holding it in between two hands to prevent rippage, which you don't want your slime to rip up. So now another tip, if you don't want to wet your slime directly because you're scared, I'm not going to do it because I'm not scared, I'm a pro at this, is you can just pretty much take and put a little water on your hand, like wet your hand, and then just play with your slime. Like normal, like so. I'm going to stop talking for a second and let you guys just kind of hear the sounds of me doing this. And you want to knead it until water is thoroughly mixed in. You don't want any soft, gooky, muddy spots. If you have those, it needs mixed more. Excuse the dogs barking. Another technique you can do if you don't really want to just sprinkle it on the slime is you can roll your slime into a ball, like so. And you can, once your slime is in a ball, make a divot in your slime using your finger. Take your medicine dropper, dip it down into the divot, careful, because it's going to try to heal. And you're going to want to push your plunger. And then go ahead and knead that in, being sure to catch any water dribbles that you may see by wiping the slime over them. Now, it's not going to sound quite so satisfying right at first because I did it like that. That's not my preferred method of slime I wouldn't say reactivating, but re-moistening. The slime is plenty activated. It doesn't need reactivation. The only difference in processes is if it needs reactivation because it's too sticky or whatever, you'll use borax or contact lens solution. Now, you want to recheck your slime manufacturer's instructions to see what was that slime made with, baking soda, borax, or contact solution. So again, just pushing my plunger in a little bit, kneading in some of that good old-fashioned agua, H2O. Just really kneading it in there, really mixing it in. Now, you don't want to just take your slime to a sink and just pour water into it. You want to do it slowly, about a mil or so at a time. I've got a lot in my dropper here. So again, just adding like I'm drawing like a little shape of the water onto it. You don't want it to where it's coming off the edges of the slime at all. And anytime you're doing this, you want to be very careful of where you're doing it. Like, you want to do it on a clean, hard, flat surface. I'm going to make a couple poke sites where I'm going to inject some water into each little poke site. And sometimes all you'll have to do is poke down. And it will go ahead and give it some water. Poke, inject. Now I'm gonna hold it and knead in that water. Hear how it's tooting back at me? That's what you want. You want it to be nice, and it's not as jiggly as it used to be because it's a putty slime. Because I had a putty and a slime and I mixed them. Another technique you can do if you want to, if you'd rather do it like this, you can take a little bit of water and just put it in your slime's container, and then just put your slime down in its container. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of the dropper in the jar. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little Allegra bottle and grab up another dropper here. Good, nice dropper full. Like so. Just very little bits of water. You want to do this slowly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly, you know how I accidentally ripped off a piece? I'm going to rip pieces off and drop them down into the water. What that's going to do is that's going to allow that piece to get some water down in it. You can see that piece jiggling there in the jar, like that. Now the more slime gets down in that jar, the more water is going to be absorbed by this now very gloopy little slime piece. It's now coated in water and very, very gloopy. If you can see, it's stringy almost, and so hard to hold because of all the excess water contents. It's very gloopy. It's very gloppy. Now we're going to grab another little slime piece and put it in with the first. It's going to probably gloopify. Now I'm going to add a little bit more water to the slime that's out here. And you can see it going ahead and absorbing a lot of this watery goodness right in. Now, what you don't want to see, here's how my slime looks. See how it's nice and formed and shaping in my hand? What you don't want to see when you're dealing with putties is you don't want to see it turning into like a stringy, liquidated little mass in your hands. So I'm trying to get this whole little mass of slime up out of my jar, which thankfully I just accidentally knocked over onto my bigger basin of slime. You can see this is very oopy gloopy. You do not want that. See how it's so gloopy that it's sticking to my hands? You don't want that. You want to incorporate that gloop into the other slime. You don't want it to be so gloopy that it... See, it's like oopy gloopy little liquid down in there. And there's some slime that won't come out. And now that I've gotten everything kind of re-waterified, see, it's stringing. It's stringing, you guys. It's turning stringy. It's still just that little bit of slime was turning stringy because there was too much water in the jar. And I just put a chunk of my hairs into it. Nice, awesome sauce. But anyways, it was starting to stringify. That one little bit of slime was. But you see, I mixed it back into this and it's not stringifying anymore. It's nice, it's uniform. You can see I still got a couple little goo spots, as you can see, as I stretch this, but not nearly as bad as it would have been. So again, we're gonna waterify. Waterify. You can see now there's like a little water bubble. Now another thing I'm gonna try to do is kind of like make it like a slime mound. Put my syringe as deep in the slime as I can get it, like make the slime go up the syringe. As you guys can see here. So it's gonna kind of form like a little mound on the bottom with the syringe in the center. And then just inject, pushing in a lot of the water from that syringe. Now, as you guys can see, there's a nicely contained little water bubble in the center of my slime. As you can see here, there's none dripping out the sides. I just accidentally popped the little water bubble, and that's okay, because it's going to get picked up and that water is going to get reinstilled. You can see, can you see that? I'm getting some little stringy bits. I'm just using my hand to reincorporate them. Now, the last technique I'm going to show, and there's about a half of a dropper left here, is I'm going to put this back in the jar. You guys are going to get to hear some of the noises. I'm going to shut up and let you hear them. My friend Mary adores the sounds that slime makes. Now again, with the slime being in the jar, I'm going to push in my syringe as much as I can. Just push it. I'm going to give it a second to let the slime kind of heal from that. You can see it's already giving off little bits and bobbins of water. So now there's just a big old divot in the middle of my slime, and it's centrifugal with just water in it. And I didn't do this out of the jar. Like, I'm not taking this out because it's super stringy, super gloopy, as you guys can hear. And if I were to do this just on the table, it would not bode well for me. Because as you can hear and see, it's not staying conformed. Ew, can you guys hear that? So just kind of, it's gonna take some. My hand's gonna take some. I can't help it because it's just it's stringy on me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour my stringy slime out. I'm gonna try to use some of the slime to get the slime off of my hand. And as you guys can see, it's not gonna work until I have more of it available to me. And it's probably still not even gonna work, because this stuff is still super gooey, super stringy, and it needs kneaded. It wants to be kneaded. Because as you can see, it's starting to try to not stain, but stick anywhere and everywhere it can. And that was the 5th medicine dropper full of water. I'm going to gently use my other hand to make sure I got all the slime off of my hand. And you can see now that it's pretty much done. So now I'm going to stretch it out. And it's okay that I've added this whole bottle into here. The slime needed it. So we're going to take the medicine dropper. We're not going to just pour it out onto here. There's a little bit of water left. We're going to go ahead and utilize that as our first plunger push. It's going to googie. It's going to googie on me again, so I need to be careful to make sure that I'm only touching the slime, not my hair, not my clothes, only slime. It's also important when you're dealing with slime and you're kneading it and adding water and stuff, it's important if you're going to use your hands to have a clean hand and a dirty hand. That way, if your slime stringifies onto you, you don't have to worry about struggling to have the slime form. A couple drops at a time, about 1 ml at a time, that's all you need. You don't need some big old giant glop of water in your slime. And if you accidentally do what I did and tear off the slime ball, it's okay. Just find your little slime ball and go ahead and add that right back in. And it will meld with your slime. So there's no more water in here. There's no more water to be used for this slime. Although my daughter has 6 other, by my daughter I mean my doll. I play with dolls. As you guys know, because I've done Barbie videos on the Allie Show before. I'm very family friendly on this channel. But anyway, she has 5 other medicine bottles full of water. So if I did need more water after this, I can just take a little bottle and add more water. Now, it's not glooping, it's not stringing, so the key is just add it slow, knead it in between additives. So again, I'm going to do a poke. And filling my little poke with some agua. Do another little secondary poke. It's like piping holes in a cake. Like filling holes in a cake with filling. Or poking holes in a toaster pastry. You gotta get your pokes right, and you gotta get the right amount of water in each poke. I enjoy doing this. It doesn't bother me, my hand getting a little goopy. This is fun. This is really, really fun to me. So we're gonna see how well. So I'm gonna poke. And I'm not hurting the slime. I'm not overdoing the poke. Poke. It's probably gonna be the last poke I do for this need to be needed. Now my slime is trying to start to rip on me, but it's okay. It's really gelatinous right now. I like a really soft consistency slime. I don't like a firm anti-stretch slime. And it smells like glue. I'm not going to lie, this slime, it was originally a store-bought slime. It smells like Elmer's glue. So if you don't like the smell of Elmer's glue, don't do this. I'm going to fold and give a poke. Because the goal is to get the water deep into the slime. I'm going to fold. Again. Poke. Expand, poke. Put my syringe into that expansion and water add. Now I'm gonna, at this stage, pull back on the plunger to add some air in. I'm gonna add in all this little, like, knead in all this excess little water from all these pokes. You can see my slime is coming together really well and really nicely, and we're getting bubble pops. Now I'm not gonna talk, I'm just gonna do this. Hey, Daddy.
Huh?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. Playing with my slime, making a video. What you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just come see what my baby was doing. I'll tell you how much I love you.
Love you. Happy Valentine's Day.
You too, baby. I'm sorry I didn't have nothing to get.
You fine?
Huh?
You fine? I'm about to stop the video right now.
Alright.
Look.
Huh? What's that?
My slime.
What are you gonna do with it?
You play with it. You on camera.
Oh, I'm getting out of here.
I'll stop it. Here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
See, guys, look at it now.
Who was it with?